Yeah, I'm Jesse. I run the manage the push team.
Yeah, I'm Gerhard and I'm the CEO at Ableton. Oh man, you know how it is. You're missing something that doesn't exist and then you make it. And we were lucky because we could program the computer, so kind of.
How did you learn that? How did you learn how to program? Were you always into computers?
I was into music first, but I wanted to know all about the tools and how to make the tools. And then, of course, at the time it was clear you need to learn programming so that you could do something meaningful. We were actually using Pro Tools for a lot of our own music, but only at the very end, and all the actual making of the music happened in real time with drum machines and max patches and so on. And then I was like, okay, roll everything and then later edit in Pro Tools. And it was like kind of stupid to think that the whole computer and this big software program in it couldn't do more for us in the process. So we were like, why doesn't all the stuff that we can do with like all these various tools to make the music in real time, like while we listen to it, go into the computer and be part of the software so that, you know, it could be a little more practical and a little more flexible and wouldn't break so often.
Okay.
So I was like really coming from a musical practice.
The live component is really what you wanted to add.
Yeah, I was like, it just so happened that the way we made music was improvisation. I mean, we didn't really think of it like, oh, we're not going to make a song, we need a chorus, or it's not like this. It's, let's go to the studio and see what happens, like, you know, so many people do.
So you just wanted something a little more fluid.
Fluid is the right word, exactly.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, when I look at, you know, an arrangement, I'm already wanting to stop in the process because I look at time to fill with meaning, like that's going to be my song. Now it's empty, it's terrible, terrifying. It's more like, can I hear something and then respond and then see where we go with it, and then at the end make decisions about, you know, how long the whole thing should be and what should go where and so on.
Yeah. So what you mentioned hardware. What was your favorite beat machine?
We had a wacky Roland, I don't know even what it was, 707. But we never used the sounds, it was just a MIDI trigger.
Oh, okay.
And we used all kinds of synths to make the actual sounds.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's got us a long way. For one, you know, it's become an instrument making company with Push. Now it's physical goods. It changes quite a bit about the whole company, of course. Like when you get into doing hardware, there's kinds of, like Jesse would know from the depths of his heart, there's kinds of problems that you just don't anticipate when you make software before. So that was a big step. And I think now more and more what's coming up as a really important dominant theme is learning also. Everything has to do with learning because people, you know, once they have tools, so about what to do with them. So that's very interesting for us too.
I think I can maybe speak to that a little. Yeah, I've been working on Push since the first one and the APC 40 before that, and yeah. So I think Push has given us maybe the hands-on, the feel to the product. So letting you make the music with your hands and not have to reach for the mouse. And I think our intention from the beginning was to look away from the computer, to get away from that distraction that we all get from, oh, there's something's bouncing on my dock. Is it time to update that VST? Is it time to respond to somebody on Instagram? You know, like that always takes me away from that groove that I want to be in. And I think that's what we intend for Push is to keep you in that groove as long as we can, before you have to go back and then maybe arrange it and do things like that. Yeah, I mean, I think we want to make it more pushy, I guess. You know, like I want to enhance more of those things. There's lots more that you still have to reach to your mouse for. That for me, my goal is to get those distractions away as much as possible, to not take you out of your flow. When you're in the flow, that's the best part for me as a musician, and just staying in that flow, getting more beats out, and continuing that process without like breaking or getting stuck, or you know, like getting frustrated with something. So that I'd like to continue with. I think you know, as Push has been out now in some form or another for almost a decade, I think a lot of us are getting better at playing it, you know, and I want to continue to make that to become like a real instrument. I think that's really where we want to go with it. And you know, I'm a guitarist. I dabble on keyboards, and I play Push, but I'm really trying to practice it and get better as a drummer, get better as an instrumentalist, and I want to enhance all that on Push, I think.
Must be something around experimental. You know, when we run a survey now and then into the user base, and we ask what genre of music do you make? I'm always surprised that like the second highest ranking or something is experimental. It comes even before pop.
What's number one?
What's number one? It would be electronic music.
Yeah.
What that means is,
and that, I mean, both what electronic music means and what experimental means, of course, wide open to interpretation.
Right.
I think what I'm suspecting a lot of people imply when they say, well, I make experimental music, is that they're interested in experimenting.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just like, I'm doing this to get it over with and out.
Right.
You know, I'm here for the process as much as for the result.
Yeah, enjoying the process.
Enjoying the process, I think that's something that we get totally all the time from people that we talk to.
Yeah.
It's the joy of going into the zone and keeping there and
learning new things that you didn't know, that make some sound that catches you, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I gotta go to sleep. It's gonna be work tomorrow. You know, like what happened to the night? That's the best, I think. So.
That is the best, getting lost in it, because it's all about, like, for me, the software disappearing. That's really what I like about Ableton, and I like about the Push. It allows me to express myself quickly without a barrier of like confusion, you know.
Yeah, I think generally one thing I hear is like Ableton and Push have a bit of a hump to get over in the beginning. Like there's a lot you have to learn, a lot of concepts to get into session view and learn how Push plays notes and all this stuff. Once you get past that hurdle, then it's just super fast, and that's where I'd like to be. I'd like to get that hump to be a little easier in the future too, I think.
Yeah.
But once you get past that, you're on fire making stuff, I think. Anything's possible. I think probably I have I mean, I use a touchscreen every day, you know, for my phone and stuff. And I think in music, I like a little more, personally, I like to grab on hold of the encoders, to hit the pads.
Me too.
And sort of like fiddling into something that is my phone again. It's maybe not where I want to be in music.
Maybe we just wait for augmented reality.
Yeah.
Skip the touchscreen.
Yeah, we'll just do the things in the air.
Minority Report style.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
like build your beats like that. Now that might be something. You know? Ableton in the metaverse.
I mean, we'll have to look into all these things. You know, it will change, but how fast? I mean, Google Glasses didn't quite do it for us yet, I think, but they offer huge possibilities. You know. So.
Well, thank you guys, man, for coming to my place. I really appreciate it. This is incredible. Like I never thought for a million years that, you know, the people that made Push would actually come see me play with it, you know, in Ableton, you know. So I appreciate y'all coming through. And what's next for you guys on this trip?
Well, first of all, thanks for having us. We're excited to watch your videos and see what you're doing, and so it was a no-brainer to come and visit. Yeah, we're going to see some other people in Atlanta, and there's an instrument competition at Georgia Tech, and yeah.
And the instrument competition, what is that like?
That's people who make instruments, digital or
Wow.
even not digital. Not everything is computer based, and they submit them to the competition, and they have 3 judges each year, and then award a couple. And it's very cool stuff. Like people, it's like really very varied. Like some of it is academic, but some is not. Some is just like, you know, a person who might be on Kickstarter. It's really exciting stuff. I'm quite stoked for it now.
So somebody there might have the next version of the Push.
Who knows?
Push 5. You know, right?
Who knows?
Yeah, very interesting. All right, well, yeah, man. Thank you guys, and yeah, it's great meeting y'all. So
Great to meet
Thank
you.
you so much
Thank you
for having us.
Yeah.
It's a great reward to come to see what people do with the stuff and
Yes.
how they radiate out a positive energy.
Exactly.
And great beats.
Thank you.
And
Thank
yeah,
you.
we actually witnessed the making of a really nice beat
Yeah.
today.